Now, before you click on this video, I know that you have already heard the news of how the uneducated Nigerian teenager intended to employ master's degree holders.
Oh! Guys! Oh my God! Bro, nice meeting you. You are in for here, Abi, you are doing the baba. You are him.
Now, before you begin to attack me of calling him uneducated, remember, he was the one that called himself uneducated.
I'm actually on my own asking. You guys can come, and I'm not proving anything wrong. I am uneducated, I agree. I can't allow uneducated again. May you come be my cameraman. No.
But now, the purpose of this video is not to put anyone in a bad light, but we are going to look into 5 main things of what really happened. Now, number 1 is that we are going to analyze what Peller did. Number 2, we are going to identify the motive, the real intention behind what he did. And number 3, we are going to discuss about the shift in the educational system and the rate of unemployment in this country. And number 4, we are going to discuss how his action was a big blow to the educational system and the higher institution at large. And then number 5, I'm going to tie it up with my own advice. Just last week, we all heard about the news of how Peller put up an offer looking for those who can help him in his social media live stream. And then that position was specifically made only for master's degrees holders. And somebody will be asking, is there anything really wrong in somebody making an offer for to create an employment opportunity for people to apply, and then with a whooping sum of 500,000 naira? So now, many looking at it, there is no problem with that. Like somebody putting out an offer and trying to employ people to work with him. There is nothing really wrong with that. And then, considering the young age of that boy, I can tell you he's doing an incredible thing. You know, for the thing that he has already accomplished at his young age, I think is what commendable. So he made an offer, and as expected, 20 master's degree holders showed up. But I know that closely looking at those people, some of them are so much younger to be master degrees holder. But that is just by the way. Now let's assume all of them are master's degree holders. So they showed up. Now, looking into their eyes, I can see the hunger, the thirst, the eagerness to work and to fend for themselves and for their family. So there is nothing really wrong with that, both for the employer and for the prospective employee. The employer made an offer, so the applicants showed up. Now, analyzing the motive behind the action, behind what he did, behind what Peller did, the first day that I saw that video, the question that kept ringing in my mind was, why must it be master's degree holders? Is this a way of trying to ridicule the Nigerian system of education? Is it trying to send a message to the society? Looking at the hierarchy of qualification, now we have the O level, which is the WAEC, we have the ND, we have the HND, we have the BSc, and now the masters and so on. Now this guy jumped all of these steps and now he's looking for masters. People that are masters to come and do what? And it's not like they are coming to do any clerical work that will really require their qualifications. But no, it's just to be cameraman. Had it been he's looking for, PA, personal advisor, I think it would have been somehow exceptional. But this is just merely cameraman. I don't know the kind of certificate that will require to be a cameraman. Another thing that got me really annoyed was the way he was addressing those applicants, the way he was talking to them. I think it was a little out of respect. For people that are academic giants like that, you should have kind of give some kind of respect to them, at least treat them with honor. But although he received them, he welcomed them, but it was somehow sarcastic, because I could remember the way he said, okay, if it was in the bank, they will be paying you 60,000 naira, but I'm here trying to pay you 500,000 naira. So Putting all of these things together, I think it was very, very ridiculous and a little shameful, and got me thinking why sometimes you need to get a little bit mature before you can be able to handle certain things, so that you can have the emotional maturity and the wisdom to handle it. Having acknowledged that he had achieved so much at a very young age, there is nothing wrong with that, but I think he needs some wisdom. Number three, we have to acknowledge that there is a radical shift in the system. And when I say in the system, it happens in almost all human endeavors. Look at what AI is doing. So when it comes to educational system, graduate students should be able to understand that times have changed. Things are no longer the same. So if you are going to school, you should really, really know what you are going for, and really understand that it is no more in the industrial era where you will go to school just to acquire a skill to come back to work in a factory in a higher level. But times have changed. It's no longer the same. You must be really equipped with skills that are relevant in today's modern age, so that you can also be relevant. Because holding only certificates, because you went to school, it's not really guaranteed. It's not an enough reason to guarantee your success. And this will also be as a kind of blueprint every single graduate or undergraduate should instill in their mind. So now when our graduates, we have this mindset, to understand that times have changed. It will reduce the level of unemployment and the rate of unemployment that we are facing in this country, because truth be told, nobody is coming to save you. The government is not even coming to save you. There is no job opportunities. And even when you see the job opportunities, they may not really appeal to your liking and to the test that you want it to be. Now, for example, you see somebody, a graduate, and they're paying him 50,000 naira, 40,000 naira, per month as a graduate. And now you might not see your transportation. You take away your transportation, your food, and now how much is left? That is what you have to think about. And when you have known all these things, it will give you the capacity to plan ahead, so that you never become a victim to somebody like Peller. This guy may not really understand what he did. Maybe he did it out of entertainment, but this still was a big blow to the school system. It's like a big ridicule that he has already reinvented the wheel, also to re-establish this phrase that we used to say that school has come. So while this thing can be seen as a blow to the system of education in Nigeria, I think it can also serve as a reminder to those that are in the position of authorities, those that are in the Ministry of Education, to be on their toes, so that they can be able to structure out a system that really works. A system that when someone graduates, you don't need to be walking around looking for what to do. You don't need to be a hooligan or a vagabond to turn to a homeless person just because you went to school, while looking for a job. It should have been a system where, as you are graduating from school, you are being set up for life. Not that you are going to be made rich, but in a sense where you can be able to stand on your own. Maybe you can have the capacity to start up a business. Because the truth be told is that if you have acquired all the knowledge that you can acquire in this world, you have known everything that you think you can know, but you don't have the financial capacity to set it up, you are still a slave. You're still going to be seen as an irresponsible person because you don't have the financial capacity to set yourself up. When I was serving, there was a time I was thinking, okay, when they have increased the allowance fees for corpers, I said it would have been better if this money has been increased in such a way that when somebody goes to NYSC, as he's passing out, he will have enough money to start up something for themselves. They will have enough money to start up something for themselves and start life. It's not like when you've graduated, then you've gone for NYSC, and that one is just like a death sentence, and you're coming out confused. You don't even know where to start. I've heard some stories of where people will leave their well-paying jobs to go NYSC, and then they will come back not to meet their job, but because there is no job, and then they will lose their job in the detriment of NYFC with nothing to show for it. It's a very confusing and a very devastating situation for anybody to live in. So one of the ways they can cure this problem of unemployment is to increase the alawi. When you go to NYSC, there are Said entrepreneurship skills are being learned. There's so many skills. I learned mine. But what happens when you have learned all these skills but you don't have enough money to set yourself up? You are still going to fall into traps. You are not really free. While they are trying to set up the structures that works, let them still increase the number, the amount of money they are paying to these corpers. That will go a long way to solve this problem that graduates are facing in this harsh economy. And now, to tie it up with my own advice, having been through school and been to school, and school have gone through me, served, and I've gone through all these phases. My only little advice I will tell you is forget about what happened. Forget about your certificates. One of the importance of going to school is for you to develop capacity. So your capacity is not in your certificate. All right, look inwards and understand the things that you can do for yourself. Start there. Do everything that you know you can do in your own power. Let me quote a little scripture here, even though I'm not a pastor. Whatsoever your hand findeth to do, do it with all your heart. So step down from your high horses, all right, and put yourself down. Look at those things that those people that you call illiterate, look at those things that they are doing, do them, and I think you can do it better. You can do it better because you are enlightened. Even though in this current generation there is almost no difference to even there's no yardstick to differentiate who is a graduate and who is not, because the world is now a global village. Everybody is enlightened, so you can still tell, but you can still have an edge. All right, so my point is that do whatever you can do to survive. Oops. They just took light. And I thank God that I'm already done with the video. But thank you so much for still being here with me, and make sure you subscribe, you like the video, and then you share it. And I'm still going to catch you up in the next one. My name is Chinoso Aguzie.